angry guy here, and women are shocked and furious. Men won't approach them anymore. Women are shocked and furious. Men won't approach them anymore. Let's go ahead and just jump right into the video.
What's the most challenging thing about dating at 29 in Miami?
When you have nothing to offer?
You or the man?
The man.
Okay.
I feel like men these days, like you have to like pretty much ask them what's their favorite lip gloss because they just want princess treatment.
What gives you that idea?
They just want you to like chase after them. They want you to like be the one to initiate conversations. There's like no like real men anymore.
Should a man not be chased and admired?
No, they should be chasing.
Is there a difference between pursuing and chasing though?
It's like the same thing. Yeah, they're like the same thing.
So how do you show a man that you value him if he's always chasing you?
If I actually want him, then I will make the time for him and give him attention. But if he's not giving me that initial attention, then I'm good.
Let's say I wanted to take you on a first date. Would Chipotle and a walk in the park be fine?
No,
Why not?
I have to go inside.
What would you prefer?
We have friends waiting.
Bro, notice how quickly she tried to dodge the camera and run away from the camera as soon as he confronted her with the fact that she is completely materialistic. All right? He short-circuited her. All right? Guys, this is the thing. All right? They're shocked and they're furious that men don't want to approach them anymore. After M2 and everything that's happened, men are withdrawing. Men are saying it's no longer worth it. Men are like, listen, I'm good without you. And the woman's upset because the woman believes that she should be worshipped and that men should be flocking to her. Because these women have had all these beta male orbiters in their DMs for the last decade telling them, you're so pretty, you're so beautiful, I would give you the world, you're a goddess, oh my gosh, you're perfect. God knew what he was doing when he made you. You know, back in the 90s and the 80s, telling a woman that she was pretty, telling a woman that she was cute was a good thing, believe it or not. This what we're experiencing right here in modern day Western society is abnormal beyond abnormal. Paying a woman a compliment was a big deal back in those days. Telling a woman she was pretty was a big deal back in those days because it's not something she heard every day. You know, unless she was walking by a construction site. And I want you guys to also go check out How I Met Your Mother, because there's literally an episode where they talk about the fact that, you know, women get upset about when they're being called by guys, like, you know, those construction workers, but then when guys stop doing it, they miss the attention. This was before social media. The only attention that women got outside of the workplace, you know, and places like clubs was literally from those guys on the street, like, hey, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Listen, mommy, don't let anyone tell you anything different, all right? God know what he was doing when he made you. All right, keep your head up. You like my New York accent? I did grow up in New York, so I I think I nailed that one. I think I nailed that entirely. Let me know in the comments if I nailed the New York accent, all right? But I mean, it is what it is. These women, look at her. She thinks that she's on her pedestal and guys need to swarm her and worship her. And now she's shocked that in Miami, a place where you have tons of women like this and tons of guys that you would perceive to be thirsty, none of the guys are approaching her anymore. All right? And she's like, the guys want the princess treatment. Basically, men are wisening up and they're like, what do you bring to the table? You know, and if we're in a relationship, men are now asking, what have you done for me lately? Every man going forward will be asking these questions. And women are going to say, we are not going to take it laying down. We are the women. You are the men. You're the ones who chase us. You're the ones who do things for us. Demanding anything from us is unacceptable. We will name you. We will shame you. We will discourage. And the funny thing is that the more they do this, the more men avoid them. And notice what she said at the end. She goes, oh, we're good. I'm good. If they don't want to, if they refuse to chase me, notice she's complaining that guys won't chase her, won't even approach her anymore. And they want the guys want the girls to chase them. And she's like, if they won't, then I'm good. I'm good. She's clearly not good. All right. She's complaining about it, but they're saying that she won't, that she's fine if they don't. In other words, how dare you not do this? But you know what? I'm fine if you don't. All right. Because I won't play along. What's happening here is men are no longer playing by their rules. Men have opted out. A lot of guys have stopped playing the game entirely and they will never go back to the table. All right. And women are in complete shock and disarray, but they are refusing to humble themselves because of the thirsty simps that are in their inbox and telling them and it's continuously inflating their egos. However, they're beginning to realize that these guys are not real. The internet is not a real place, okay? It really isn't. It is not reality. What you see on the internet does not reflect the reality around us. So much of it is manipulation, okay? These videos, people showing it like they're living the living their best life. I saw this video of this chick I follow on YouTube, and she actually makes videos talking about content like growing your channel and growing your business and stuff like that. And she's pretty cute, but I saw a video of this chick, like she's with friends and she's jumping on a bed and like they're going crazy, and she's like in her I think in her mid-20s or late 20s. And I'm thinking to myself, if anyone was watching this, a young person was watching this, they're like, oh my gosh, everyone's living such a happy life and my life is just miserable. And the saddest thing about that is, bro, who took the video? Look how carefully the video was filmed. Look at the angles in the video. Stop idolizing these people for a moment, man, and start paying attention and start asking questions about what you're watching. And once you start paying attention to this, you start saying, bro, this is planned. She literally planned this out with these group of people. Who do you know that behaves like this? Why was she jumping on the bed like this? All right. Observe the environment. How was it filmed like this? How was this actually timed? All right. Because this clearly was not just random. You couldn't just do this randomly and someone just like pulled out their camera. No, this was literally well timed and well planned out. In other words, she made this just for YouTube, just for Instagram, to make it look like she's living this great, amazing life. So people, it's all marketing. It's all marketing. Pictures in the bikini, perfect bikini pictures, by the way. You look at the pictures and you realize, wait a minute, was this picture even taken with a normal camera? Look at the colors of this picture. All right. Maybe it could have been taken with an iPhone. Although, look how she's posing in the picture. Look at the water effects. Bro, these were all planned. Everything is planned out. Guys, the internet is fake. It's fake, and everything you see on the internet is fake. All right? Trust none of what you see and very little of what you hear, because it's all crap. And these women are beginning to realize that the men that they meet on the internet, these guys that are in their inbox telling them that they're so wonderful and putting them on a pedestal, they can't do anything for them. A lot of these guys barely have a couple dollars to rub together, because if they were focused on themselves, they would be building up their wealth, not chasing after these women who have nothing to offer other than their looks. And looks fade. When a woman's looks fade, the only thing that remains is, what can she do for you? Okay? And by then, think about it. If she hasn't had kids for you, and she can't cook, she can't clean, and she hasn't spent time getting to know you, you can go and find a woman somewhere else in the world who is fit, who is feminine, who is friendly, and she's young. And she was raised to be a wife and a mother. And she loves to cook and she loves to clean because these are parts of her culture. Let me repeat that again. These are parts of her culture. These are things that that are part of her as a human being. A lot of women today don't understand the concept of cooking. They don't like to cook. They think that it's something that it's domestic servitude. They think that it's for an indentured servant. They think it's work for a serf. What they don't comprehend is that in other countries, even developing countries, especially some developing countries, it's a normal part of life to prepare your own food. Modern women and women in modern day society, they want everything handed to them, and they've had everything handed to them, and it's understandable. A woman like this has I'll guarantee you, she's been with millionaires. All right, she's been with Chad, Tyrone, Ray, Pookie, Quan, Enrique, but then she's also been with NBA players, football players, tennis players, heck, maybe even some golfers. Guys, the point I'm trying to make is that she's been with these guys, and now her sense of self and value, they're way too inflated. And now the thing is, she has to come back down to earth, and she's looking for a guy, of course, that's at least a millionaire. I guarantee you right now, she's looking for a millionaire so that she can live a soft girl life. And then basically after she's found her plan B, she can divorce him, take half, and then continue the scam, because it's all one big scam. But it becomes much, much harder to do this when men are not approaching anymore. When men are like, yeah, we're not doing this. And the funny thing about it is that people think that that everyone follows the celebrities, but don't forget, if the celebrities are observing that normal men are walking away from these types of people, for example, if a normal guy won't hook up with Brittany Reiner, right? Because Brittany Reiner has disgraced herself so much, and you're a guy making tens of millions of dollars, and you're messing around with Brittany Reiner, when the normal guy off the street, the guy making $30,000 a year, would not go anywhere near her. What does that say about your own value? A lot of these women don't realize that first they price themselves out of the market, and now they've lowered their own value so much that it's not that men are simply afraid of approaching them. I mean, that's a part of it. But now men don't want to. Men don't want to be in relationships with them. Men are rejecting them. And they can't accept it in their narcissism, because she realizes that it's a form of rejection. And she basically goes, and if they won't, then it's okay, because I'll be alone. I won't do anything. I'm good. She goes, I'm good. And that's not true. Because the desperation starts to set in. As she gets older, her looks start to fade. Things start to sag. Student loan debt starts to, student loan repayments begin again. The guys, the ballers and the wealthy guys, they're not flying her out anymore. Guys on Tinder won't take her out on dates anymore and buy her food, because now they've, first off, a lot of guys have wisened up, so they're not doing it anymore. They're not wasting their money. So it's becoming even harder, especially in this inflation. But now she's older, and they're like, I'm not asking you on a date. Like, if you want to come over and we can, and you can let me go, let me do whatever. That's about it, bro. That's it. And she's basically gonna see the pattern, like, that's what guys are gonna treat her like, right? Recreational use only. And now she's like, nope, I can hold out, and she can't. And then desperation will set in, and she'll start talking her crap, and then they'll begin talking about where have all the nice guys gone. And you, bro, you basically kill them off. You all kill them off, because basically, if you're a man who has your stuff together, you don't have time for someone who is all over the place, who's playing games. A person who has their life together does not have time to be running around and acting like an F-boy. All right. And that's what a lot of women are looking for. Oh, you need to excite me. You know what's exciting? Being able to eat every night, having a roof over your head, being able to pay your bills on time. Okay? Being with someone who's not going to be out in the streets, being responsible and accountable, accountability. All right? That's what's up. These women, they don't realize it. And again, guys, like I said, nothing lasts forever. I've warned you about this. I said this years ago. I said that this. I believe this was. I called it the great V collapse of 2020. But we already know what happened in 2020, and that delayed things by a couple of years. All right, because if you notice, this is the first year that we're now supposedly out of the events of 2020. Although they're trying to bring it back, you know. But regardless, it's we're watching the decline. And even though 45% of women will be single and childless come 2030, you have to understand that the impact of this is going to be felt long before it hits 45%. All right? Long before it hits 45%. And keep in mind, 2030 is literally only, what is that, 6.5 years away? Not even 6.5 years, less than 6.5 years away. Because we're almost in 2024. We are less than 4 months away from 2024. Less than 4 months away. And guys, they're going to be moan, they're going to be angry, they're going to get and guys, they don't get it. They don't get that men are not going to bite. I told you eventually it's going to get so bad that they're going to say that men and women need to have a conversation. All right? They're going to try to get together and hold together and have meetings and all this other nonsense. And the only guys that are going to show up there are going to be the soy boys. And they're going to say, what are you guys doing here? We don't want to talk to you. We want to talk to the other guys. All right? The guys that still have some masculinity. And the soy boys are going to say, yeah, those guys aren't coming. All right? I mean, what did you think was going to happen? All right? And by the way, we're all you have right now. So, we're the only thing that you have, period. The other guys aren't coming, so you need to show us some respect. All right? You really need to show us some respect. You really need to watch how you speak to us. Okay? Because you really don't have any other options. Okay? My name is Jake. My name is Jake. Not dude, not bro. My name is Jake. And you really need to straighten yourself up, because those guys with masculinity, they're not coming back. They're not coming back anymore. All right. So we're gonna have to work this out together, and they're gonna be crying their eyes out when they realize that these beta males, that's all they have left, and these men aren't making any money. They're not there trying to improve themselves. That's really how it is. And you're gonna have some women who are very, very desperate. It's already happening, trying to run overseas to find a man. That's not gonna work out for them. All right. And of course, there's gonna be the women who are in absolute denial until things are get. I mean, they'll stay completely in denial and delusional as things are crumbling around them. I will say though, for example, when a girl like this can't afford her makeup anymore, because she thinks that she's always going to be able to pull it off. A girl like this, let me tell y'all right now, they will, in a heartbeat, they'll turn to OF without skipping a beat. But if OF doesn't work out for them, and it doesn't work out for a lot of women, all right, the average OF content creator makes like only a couple $100 a month. It's like literally nothing, okay? Because not everyone is successful at OF, all right? Once that sets in, and it's and by the way, they turn to OF, they ruin their good name, because now they've messed up and they can't get a job anywhere because of that desperation, because none of these women want to work. So now they're in complete disarray, can't afford anything, and really what's going to end up happening is a lot of them are going to end up on the street. When I was homeless, I saw some beautiful girls on the street. I saw dimes on the street. They ended up on the street with all the other homeless people. sleeping around with the other homeless people. All right? Nothing lasts forever. And with the kind of rent that's out here right now, these women don't know anything about budgeting. They have no sense of financial literacy. And they have no accountability or responsibility. There's not going to be a lot of options for them. 30, I mean, like I said, a lot of the millennial women, in 6 years, I will be 46 years old. All right? I'll be 46. I'll be 40 next month. In 6 years, I'll be 46 years old. All right? The millennial generation is from 1981 to 1996. So in 10 years, guys, the millennials will be 49. The oldest of the millennials, is that even, no, did I get that right? We'll be almost 50. Yeah. 49. How the heck is that even possible? That's crazy. All right, less than 6.5 years, the millennials will be 40, 49, almost 50 years old, the oldest of us. And what's going to happen? What's going to happen to all those women that are single in 2030? 45% of women will be childless and single between the ages of 25 and 44. All right. So you're going to have all these women who are now like 50, pushing 50, and in their 50s, all single. It's just going to be a lot of Gen X women who are single as well. All of these women are going to be single, childless, and their value is going to, and basically they'll have expired. All right. And it's going to be a nightmare. There'll be those who are turning to church and, we're going to try to find God. They won't find a man. Guys, by that time, I'm telling you right now, I said this before, trends become normalities and normalities become traditions. Repeat it again, guys. Take it and use it for yourselves. Trends become normalities and normalities become traditions. And right now, the password bros, it's a trend. It will become a normality. Not in the next 20 years. Much sooner than that. All right? Over the next couple of years, it's going to become a normality. And then not too long after that, it will become a tradition. It'll become a tradition for a man in the Western society to go overseas to find a wife or to even find a girlfriend. Men will no longer date in Western society. They won't go on dates with women anymore. And that's going to shock them. That is going to shock women hard when the average man will no longer go on a date with them. All right? And women don't approach men. It's something that goes against their common belief because women can't handle rejection. And the women that are most desperate, they'll try doing it. And you'll start watching them getting turned down by all these guys. And it's like suddenly their reality is going to be shook because they're going online and they have all these guys still in their DMs, but they're realizing these guys are just thirsty. All right? These are the simps. These are the thirsty guys. These are the guys that just want to do, it's basically recreational use only. These are not marriageable men. These men do not want to marry them. They don't want to commit to them. They don't even want to have a relationship with them. In fact, some of these guys don't even want to see them more than once. And that reality is going to set in for them. And many of them will stick to their delusion, but there are those who will go out there and they'll think it's funny trying to approach guys and ask guys like if they want to date and go on a date, and guys are just going to reject them left and right. Most women can't do it. Most women cannot approach a guy and ask them out on a date. And it's going to be insane watching these women, because a lot of guys are going to think it's a setup. And even if it isn't, by then, most of these guys are going to say, yeah, I don't date Western women. I only date foreign women. Like I'm going, I'm going over to Nicaragua like next month. Like this is going to become a norm where like guys are literally going to start like scheduling their vacation time just so that they can leave the country. Like, oh yeah, I'm going over to the Dominican Republic. I'm going to Colombia, Nicaragua, the Philippines. This is what's going to happen. All right? This is what's going to happen. You're going to have a lot of guys say things like, you know what, I can't work the entire year. I'll only work part-time. You're going to have a lot of dudes doing remote work, but the ones who actually have to be here and work, they're going to say, yeah, I'm only working part-time, and you can pay me $50 an hour or $100 an hour to do this work. And it's going to be literally like that. You can pay me $100 an hour to do this work, or in some cases more. And you're going to say $100 an hour. But wait a minute, $100 an hour is quite strange. Because if a person is making $100 an hour, then just imagine, like, what are they doing with that kind of money? Oh, it's quite simple. They're banking it all. They're putting it all away, investing in themselves, and they're leaving the country with it. And they're taking all of that money out of the country with them. If they have real estate in Western society, if they have a house in Western society, that house is not to live in. It's an investment property to make them money. And that's it. And you'll have men setting up homes all around the world in different countries. Building homes, buying homes in different countries. And it'll be extremely affordable for them. I'm not joking with you. You're going to have guys that have like 5 different homes in 5 different countries. A home in Thailand, a home in the Philippines, a home in Romania, a home in Mexico, a home in Colombia, a home in the Dominican Republic. You're gonna have a lot of these normal dudes that have homes in all of these different countries. Nice homes, fenced off homes. And when they want to, they will simply go to each and every single one of these countries and crash at these places. And when they're not there, they'll rent out the property, or they may have someone living there. They may have their woman living there. They won't marry these women, but depending on the laws of the country, they may have someone living there, and they'll travel between all of these countries. And these are the dudes with bread. These are the dudes with bread. So they can travel all over the world. That's what men are doing right now, traveling all over the world. And these women are going to see all these dudes, their wives or girlfriends or baby mamas, whatever, posting pictures on Instagram, living in these nice houses, wearing nice clothes, eating good, being driven around in nice cars. And they're going to cry. They're going to say, but that's what's going on. That's supposed to be my life. That's supposed to be my house. That's how I'm supposed to be living. This is not right. This is theft. This is robbery. You are stealing from us, men. Because you didn't want us to level up. Now you're going overseas and you're giving other women what belongs to us. And what you're going to hear, all these women overseas, I told you, it's going to be like American Idol International Edition, where women all around the world are going to be competing for Western men from Western countries. And when women from Western society begin to cry and throw a fit over it, these women, and they're already doing from these other countries, are telling Western women to mind their business, and that their relationship with these men has nothing to do with them. These are the men, first off, you didn't want, and you need to mind your business. It is none of your business what we do with these men. It is not our relationship with them. Is none of your business. And it's a disgrace, because these women These women in Western society are there digging around in another woman's business and another woman's relationship and trying to put down these women over there that in many cases are more educated than they are, younger than they are, fitter than they are, and friendlier. Because the Western woman is not friendly, and the Western woman has nothing to offer. She does not know how to create value. It's all about what she can take, and then take. The Filipinas are what's the term that the Filipinas use? Hyenas. That's a pretty bad term. And that's what they've been calling them. That's the term that Filipinas have been using to describe, some Western women Western women with a darker complexion. They've been going after these women. And they're unapologetic. And it's like these Western women, because of the simps that are in their inbox, they still can't get it through their heads that these men are rejecting you. The average man is now rejecting you. Because the average woman, the average woman does not like the average man. Most women do not like 95% of men in Western society. In fact, it's increasingly becoming the norm that most women in society today are chasing after just 1% of men. 1%. When you live in a society where the women are chasing after just 1% of men, and even among those 1%, that 1%, they still can't be happy. And divorce is a big possibility. Because you have a lot of these women who are divorcing these 1%ers. When you realize that, it tells you, it becomes a complete fact and validation that modern women, after they've been with a certain number of guys, they can no longer pair bond. These women can no longer pair bond. They can no longer be in a relationship. And I told you, no one's going to feel sorry for them. No one's going to cry for them. People are only going to watch. And guys are going to say, well, oh, too bad, so sad. You brought this onto yourself. Now live with it, love it, enjoy it, and deal with it. Because no one's going to rescue them. There's no more Captain Save you know what. Those days are over. But these women, they can't accept the reality. They're shocked. They're furious that men won't approach them anymore. And they basically think that they're going to shame men and say that men have no masculinity. These are the same women that were going on for years about toxic masculinity and how terrible it is. And saying that they would never date a conservative man. They would never date a Republican or a MAGA Republican. They would never date these guys. All right. They won't have anything to do with these guys. They would never date a guy that likes Andrew Tate. And now what are they doing? They're finding themselves isolated and alone. And it's only going to grow and grow and grow. And like I said, a woman's ego is more important to her than her life. So these women, most of them, they will stand on their hill to the very end of their days. And those of them that try to switch it up, they're just being chameleons. We have videos of these women literally dressed promiscuously while they're trying to act like they're traditional women and like they're empathetic and accepting of men, and like, they'll be with a guy that doesn't make a lot of money while they're literally dressed like a promiscuous woman. Like they're out and about trying to land a millionaire. But they're trying to not alienate the Plan C guys and the Plan B guys, because they know, and keep in mind, the Plan B guys are millionaires, but they're out there trying to land these guys that have lots of money while they're trying not to alienate the Plan C guys and even the Plan D guys. All right. Well, the Plan D guys are Plan Desperate, but these guys are very important because when all else fails, these are the guys that will still help you get back on your feet. Like, they'll put a roof over your head. They'll get you a cell phone. They'll feed you. They'll take care of you, put a little money in your pocket, and you have no interest whatsoever in these guys. but you're just using them until you can get yourself back on your feet and then get yourself to a plan C guy or a plan D guy. Plan C guy is plan come up guy. The C stands for come up. D is for desperate, and they're only going to go to these guys if they're absolutely desperate. C is for come up. Those are the guys that make, let's say, $100,000 a year. You're like $100,000 a year. Those are the guys they're going to use as a come up. So they're going to use these guys to come back up, all right, and rebuild themselves. And then they'll get, and then they'll work to get to the plan B guy that's going to set them up for life now. You know, the guy who's a millionaire, the guy that when they take him to court, you know, they're going to clean him out enough so they never have to work again. They're going to have him on the hook. So now that's going to set them up for life. That's their plan. That's their plan. All right. And they're finding they can't get to these guys anymore. And they think it's funny because of their narcissism, but desperation will eventually set in. But like I said, many of them, they will sit on their hill because in their minds, their ego is so inflated, they think they are goddesses that were put here on earth to be worshipped. And that's one of the reasons why they're so obsessed with the notion of God being a woman. And many of them will literally say it outright that God is a woman. What do you all think about this? Women are shocked and furious. Men won't approach them anymore. You know my thoughts on this, but I want to hear your thoughts regarding this. So let's talk about that in the comments. And again, guys, don't forget to rate me on my New York accent that I did earlier in the video, because I want to know, did I do a good New York accent? Let me know what you think regarding this video and what we talked about here today. Like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.